Okay, everybody, welcome to my video. Today I have a microphone and I'm very excited about it. So I've got, today I'm going to make a little cord keeper, and I've made them before. I used this pattern. It has writing on it because I changed it to only have 1/2 inch seam allowances when I was doing this with a bunch of teenagers, but I'm going to use 1/4 inch seam allowances today. Now the bits of fabric I have are not as big. They aren't as big, but I think they'll work just fine for this little cord keeper. And I'm going to use interfacing today. So this is like a lot of interfacing, and this is a non-woven. There's 3 kinds of fabrics. There's you have your wovens, your knits, and your non-wovens, which are like felt and stuff. This is a very, very thin non-woven. You can see through it. And I don't know if you can also see, but there are little dots. And those are little glue dots. And so this is fusible interfacing. And I've already put it onto a piece, so you can see, you can compare the difference. So I ironed on a piece of interfacing. I made it a little bit smaller than the piece that I ironed it onto, because the glue dots can get onto your ironing board, and then when they get onto your ironing board they stick to it, and that can be kind of messy. So you can already see the difference between these 2 bits of fabric. Look at how this one has a lot more shape to it and this one doesn't. So this is going to be this one's going to be a little bit more stiff and this one isn't, and we'll see how that makes a difference. I'm going to round the edges of this though with like a cup or something, and then I've got 2 pieces of Velcro. Well, actually there's 2 pieces in it. It's not Velcro brand. Velcro is a brand. It's like called hook and loop tape. Okay. I just put the ends together and then I cut about 1 inch. So that way I have 2 bits of Velcro to be able to do this thing today. And anyways, I'm going to go ahead and round these off. Oh, very important. When you're using fusible interfacing, make sure the glue dots are down on the fabric and not facing up on the iron, because then they'll just stick to the iron. So, and what kind of interfacing you get depends on the kind of project that you're doing. If I'm doing something with a knit fabric, I'll use knit interfacing. If I'm trying to give more stability to a knit fabric, sometimes I'll use woven interfacing to make it more stable. As a matter of fact, there are kits out there where you can buy a ton of woven interfacing to put on the back of a t-shirt so that the t-shirt doesn't stretch all over the place when you're making a t-shirt quilt. Here's actually an example, if I can find one, of nope, I'm not finding it. Oh, here it is. Here's an example right here, actually. This is a piece of knit fabric that was stretchy, and I put woven interfacing on the back of it, so that way I could treat this piece of fabric that I really, really like because it had cute llamas on it as a woven fabric. So, interfacing can be really helpful for those kinds of things. So, anyways, let's go ahead and get started with the sewing. Okay, everyone, I've got this cup, and I just look at, see, that's a little bit too small of a circumference, so I'm gonna, yeah, that looks pretty good. No, I'm just gonna use that. this. You can hardly see it. Oh, Bruce has my scissors. That doesn't look even to me. Anyways, you get the idea. I'm gonna work on that a little bit. I want it to be, you know what, I'm just gonna fold it in half. Aha! Now they are the same. That looks good. That looks good. It looks pretty close actually to the original pattern. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Alright, I'm now going to use this one as my pattern for the rest of them to get that curve in. Okay. Okay, now I've got the edges curved off for both of these. Now since these are so small, I just put a pin in either side. Now the thing that's going to be important is for me to leave a 2-inch gap for me to be able to turn it inside out afterwards. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and turn on my sewing machine. And I'm going to sew it 1/4 of an inch, that's the edge of the presser foot. And I'm just going to sew a little bit before this edge. Just a little bit before this edge. Oh, Bruce, you're okay. Bruce is sitting behind me because it's his favorite spot. Okay. Move my control foot so I can better do this. Okay. Needle down. I'm going to look at this side to figure out if I'm already at a 1/4 of an inch. Okay, I'm gonna test it. Yeah, that looks about right. By the way, if you're wondering, I use a magnetic pin cushion. It's just way easier. Okay, now because my needle is down, I will be able to lift my presser foot and adjust it a little bit. So if I were going by this side right here at the edge, if I turn this, you can see that that's a little bit too much. So I'm going to go back. There we go. Okay. I'm going to sew the other one. Now the other one is the one with the interfacing. You might find it easier to manage the one that has the interfacing. There we go. Okay. Now, if you have pinking shears, then that's the best thing to do with these curves. Okay. Otherwise, you're going to have to make little notches. also going to cut the corner off. I'm about 1/8, maybe one. Yeah, that's a little close. Okay, right here. Actually, I want to poke that out. If I use my pencil with the lead down, I can This is the one with the interfacing. Now I don't know if you can tell the difference, but this one, it's as I've snapped it closed, this part is staying closed a little bit better. And this is the one that has the interfacing. Now I could iron this, but and that would make it look a little bit better, but I don't actually have to iron it. It depends on how nice you want it to look. Okay. And this one, see how these don't want to stay down as much? There we go. You know what? I'm going to pin the other side since I'm not ironing it. Okay. Like I can feel how much more like stuff there is right there. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and sew them. I'm going to sew the one that doesn't have the interfacing first. I can tell that this is the side that doesn't have the opening. This is the side that does have the opening. The first part I'm going to sew is going to be that opening. No. I'm going to top stitch right here. Okay. This is my opening. Now look at how it's a little bit wobbly on the edge, just like that. Okay. Also, I didn't care about getting a perfect corner right here. I could. Now I'm going to sew the one that has interfacing. This is the opening side. Oh, I went too far. I'm gonna compare the two. See how this one's a little bit more wavy and this one isn't as wavy. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put on the Velcro. And so one piece of Velcro goes on this side, the other one goes on this side. When you're sewing on Velcro or hook and eye tape, hook and eyes or something else. This one, which is this one here, that is the loop side, that one's pretty easy to sew on. And then this one here, this is the hook side, and this one's a little bit difficult. All right, I'm going to just sew a square around them. You could sew a square and then do a cross, an X on over that. I do that when I need something to be extra strong. Okay, and where'd my other piece of Velcro go? Well, I can cut another one, I guess. So, yeah. What I'm trying to do is make it so that where it's sewing is going to be on this edge right here and not in the hooks themselves. Now I could pin this down, but I found that if I have it placed where I want it, once I sew this side, it's normally rigid enough that I can sew around and then it won't be hard. So once this part is sewn, it's normally not a problem. See, now that I've sewn it, this isn't going to move. Sewing this part right here is sometimes the part that's tricky. So the goal right here is to sew about that far around. Okay, what I was trying to point out earlier is that if you look really close, come on, focus. If you look really close, I'm trying to sew on that section in between the edge and where the hooks are. Here I can't avoid it. And then here I'm trying to sew in that section between the hooks and the edge. And then I can't avoid it anymore. Make sure you backstitch, all right? Okay, so the cord keeper goes around like this. I need to make sure that my other bit of Velcro is right there. So I've got the two ends of Velcro. I'm gonna turn this off for a little bit. I've got the two ends together. I lost the other little piece. Just gonna if you want to sew the crosshairs in here, this is how I do it. Oh, dang it. I'm being kind of sloppy today. I was a little sloppy there. I went one stitch over and had to go back. Same thing here. Yeah. Now, I can do this more exactly if I need to, but if I'm just doing a small little project like this and it's just going to be for me, I don't mind if it has a little bit of an imperfection. So anyways, look how it looks on the back. It looks pretty good. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put the other side on. Okay. All right, so this is how everything turns out. All right, so this is the one that doesn't have interfacing, and it holds my tape measure very nicely. This is the one with interfacing, and you know, when for this thing that's really small, you can hardly tell the difference. So one of the headphone sides or the earbud sides got cut off because it was over here, just rolled up, and then my sister Rosa was sewing and she accidentally cut off one of the sides. Where'd it go? See? So sad. If I had had one of these and it had been in there, then it would have been safe. So, and then this is one that's the original size. This one doesn't have interfacing, so you can see how it's pulling right here. Now, does that really matter? I don't know. You can see, let me undo all of them for you. This is the one with interfacing. All right, you can tell even now, this one doesn't have the interfacing and this one does. It's a little bit stronger, okay? And this one here, this one also didn't have interfacing. I don't know, I did a test a few months ago on whether you really needed interfacing on them, and you can tell, because I use this one, I normally use this one for my laptop cord actually, you can tell that it's starting to get a little bit wavy and stuff from being used. It's still fine, but the one that has the interfacing is going to be more stable. Okay, you can also see that it's just a little bit smaller. So I sewed both of these at 1/4 of an inch around. All right, and you can see that this is about an inch smaller, and this is about 3/4 of an inch smaller. And being able to have different sizes, I think, is nice, because this one works really well for these thicker cords, and this one works really well for like thinner things and that sort of thing. So anyways, I hope that you are able to understand interfacing a little bit better and Velcro. Oh, I forgot to show the different Velcro styles. So this one, this kind of Velcro where it's just sewn around the edge, versus this one where I did the crosshairs. This is going to be more stable as well. if you want something to last longer, this is the way to do it, okay? But this is still adequate, all right? So that's how you, wow, you can actually tell, you can tell that it's kind of bending a little bit, because when it's together, oh no, it's because this was the curved. When I originally cut this, it was folded so that it was like curved, so it's fighting it more than the one that does have the interfacing. The one that does have the interfacing is mostly flat. So anyways, hope that helps explain. I'll try and add the pattern in the description. I really hope that I'll be able to find this pattern. I mean, I'm pretty sure I can still find it and put it in the description because I liked it. I liked, you know, I like being able to have these little cord holders. Anyways, I hope you all are doing well, and I'll wait for another video next week. Bye.
Is that your favorite blankie? Oh, Bruce.